If you're building a SaaS business, in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly the 4 principles I would follow to get my first 100 users if I were to start a SaaS business today. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I bring you an episode every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday to help startup founders like you navigate the path to product market fit and navigate the path to the next stage of growth. So if you are new to our community, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so that you get notified every single time I drop an episode. Before I get into exactly how I get my first 100 users if I were to build a SaaS business again, if you are in that spot where you're building your SaaS business and you don't want to navigate the journey alone, be sure to check out my SaaS School, where I coach founders on how to go from 0 to 3 million ARR. I will link to it below and tell you more details about it at the end of this video, but let's start to dig in, shall we? Let's go into exactly how I would go about acquiring my first 100 users. So if you're ready to get started, smash that like button. No, really, smash that like button. It just helps us out. Let's dig in. Okay, so here's the first thing I want you to understand. For any of us that have ever started SaaS businesses before, I started Tout App and I sold it to Marketo, and then I worked at Marketo and we helped sell that. I've been in SaaS business for a while. At the end of the day, it all comes down to our ideal customer who wants to get to the promised land. The promised land being either more money or saving time. That's why software gets used. Along the way, the reason they buy software is they essentially have some sort of a major problem or some sort of an obstacle. So that's the first thing you really want to understand. The first principle to understand is you really want to dig into what is the macro trend and the obstacle that's happening. That's number one for you. That necessitates your software. See, people like you and I, we don't just build software for no reason, not the successful ones at least. And people don't wake up one morning and say, oh, I really want to pay for one more SaaS software. No one does that. The reason they actually invest in software is so they can get a return on that investment by either making more money or saving time. That's it. And so what you want to figure out, the first step to all of this is what is the big macro trend that is happening that necessitates the software you're building. Now, you don't have to do this when you've already built a product. If you haven't built a product yet, you should start with this right now and start following this process. If you've already built a product and now are turning on sales and marketing to get users, you definitely should do this because you're a little bit late to the game. So the first step in this is how do you actually identify the big macro trend that necessitates your software. Now, I'll give you an example. For Tout App, at the end of the day with Tout App, what was happening was there were more leads being generated than ever before. There were more leads there, and because of those leads required 7 to 8 touches to convert that lead to an opportunity, salespeople needed software to touch people 7 to 8 times, to email them, phone calls, social, all those things. They couldn't manage it all in their heads, and it took 8 touches to actually capitalize on that lead. That's why that software was necessary. So that was our macro trend. We identified that was a clear macro trend, and we started talking to VPs of sales around it. We also realized that VPs of sales wanted their salespeople to be prospecting, and they didn't want to be prospecting, so we helped them automate that as well. Those were big macro trends that came into play. So we identify the macro trend. The second thing you do is you create a manifesto. Now, a lot of marketers will tell you to create a lead magnet. A lead magnet is like 10 shocking things that you didn't know about, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of noisy out there and people won't care. This is why I like manifestos, and I'll be doing an episode on what's the difference between a lead magnet and a manifesto and why a manifesto is so much more powerful. This is what we teach in our SaaS School program. So I would create a manifesto. Ours was how to write kick-ass sales emails for Tout App, and it was a really successful manifesto. We talked about like, hey, here's literally how to write your sales emails so that you get noticed. And we taught people our unique point of view about what our software enables and how it solves this big macro trend and the obstacle that's in the way of them making money. So step number 2 in this is to actually create a manifesto. Once I have this manifesto, this PDF guide, it doesn't have to be terribly complicated, I will go on and post on LinkedIn or post on Twitter, wherever my ideal customers hang out. I will post it every single day or 3 times a week, whatever is necessary. I will do that. I will actually post it, and I will actually highlight that big macro trend that's happening. I'll highlight the big macro trend and I'll say, hey, by the way, we've thought about this. Follow the link in the comments to check out our manifesto. And people will then go download that manifesto and give me their email address. And I will do this over and over and over and over until I build an email list of 300 to 500 people. And I can start doing this even before I have a product, or I can do this once I already have a product, or I can do this as we're building the product. But the point is, I'll get super specific about who our ideal customer is. I'll figure out where they hang out. I'll figure out a macro trend. I'll create this manifesto that has our unique point of view, and I'll keep promoting it on LinkedIn or Twitter in front of these people, and I'll keep connecting with these people. You guys getting this? Now let me pause here for a second before I go to principle number 4. This is a dramatically different way to actually approach this, because what most people do is they build, and then say, oh, let me hire sales and marketing. Or even worse, they try to do all the things, right? There's a recent stat I came across. Turns out that only about 4% of seed stage companies graduate to a Series A. 4%. Which makes you wonder, what is the 96% doing wrong and what is the 4% doing right? Here's the thing, every single seed stage company will do all the right things around sales and marketing, right? They'll create a blog, they'll get a snazzy website, they'll create a logo, they'll do all kinds of content, they'll do a billion things, but it ends up neither here nor there. The only thing that matters is that you craft your manifesto the right way and you find the right macro trend and you get it in front of your audience in a consistent way. Are you starting to see the difference here? Are you starting to see how this is the most essential aspect of getting that first 100 users and beyond? And of course, you do this right, it's not gonna get you just 100 users. This could be your primary growth engine for your SaaS business. If you're starting to get this, the difference in the approach here, can I just get a yes in the comments below so that I know you're here with me? And if you haven't smashed that like button already, please do so. It means a lot to us. And by the way, if you are just at that stage where you're building out your sales and marketing machine, you're trying to get to that 100 users and beyond, or even trying to grow your sales and marketing machine, this is exactly what we teach founders to do in our SaaS school. I'll tell you more about it. I'll link to it below, but I'll tell you more about it at the end of this video. Now let's go to principle number 4. Principle number 4 is, okay, I'm posting on LinkedIn. I've got people downloading the manifesto. I've got an email list. What do I do? I would run a once-a-week webinar. Or I would just email these people and ask to get on a call with them so that we can compare notes around the manifesto, so that I can educate them more about the market, and so that I can actually get them into my product and actually get them into the product. This is exactly what we did at ToutApp, and it worked beautifully. We published our book, How to Write Kick-Ass Sales Emails. We did more books after that. We published a weekly webinar where we invited people that downloaded the guides to say, hey, come to this webinar. We'll teach you how to get 7 to 8 touches for your sales leads. And then in the webinar, we say, hey, let's get on a call or try out the product so you can actually put these strategies into place. And boom, we had way beyond our first 100 users. It was incredible. And it's a very simple system. And when you start to do this every single week, what you end up doing is starting to get new people coming in and being aware about what you guys are doing and understanding your unique point of view, and then engaging with you to actually understand if your software will help them make more money or save time and save money. Now you know exactly the system that I would follow to get the first 100 users. Well, what you don't know is how to actually find the right macro trends. What you don't know is how to craft the manifesto in a very specific way. And what you don't know is how to actually run this webinar in a way where you actually drive to sales conversations. This is exactly what we teach in our SaaS school. We work with SaaS founders to help you build an unstoppable sales and marketing machine, a go-to-market machine, so that you can actually scale your business, get to revenue, get to product market fit, and beyond. So if you're in that stage and you want to work with me to build out your go-to-market machine and accelerate your revenues, go beyond the 100 users, then follow the link below to actually check out SaaS School, to actually schedule a call with me so that we can actually figure out if you're a good fit. Or you can just go to tkkader.com/GTM. That's it, tkkader.com/GTM. I'll give you all the details around our program, which is now open for enrollment. And it'll actually give you a link to schedule a call to see if you're a good fit for the program. Now, a couple of caveats. This call is not a free strategy call. I'm not getting on a call to answer all your questions and give you all the answers. I am getting on this call to evaluate if what you're working on is a good fit for the program, if we can help you, and then I can tell you what it would take to be part of the program. That's how the calls are structured. I just want to be fully transparent. So to recap, if you want to get to your first 100 users, get super specific about your ideal customer profile and figure out what their macro trend is. Number 2, create your point of view, your manifesto. Post where they are every single week, multiple times, get them to download your manifesto, invite them to a webinar, and then drive to sales conversations and put them into your product. That's how I get the first 100 users. I've used this system before in my Tout App journey. I've seen it used with multiple companies that I work with while I was SVP of strategy at Marketo. This system works. It's the most essential way to actually build a sales and marketing machine, which is why we built the whole program around it. I want to thank you for watching this video all the way till the end. Be sure to smash that like button if you got value from this. If you're new to the community, I post a video every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday to help startup founders like you get to the next stage of growth. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. If you also have a friend who's also building a SaaS business that could get value from this, and you're not super competitive with that person, you want to help him out or help her out, be sure to share this video. It means the world to us. And lastly, check out SaaS School, tkkader.com/GTM. We would love to have you as part of the program. We're now open for enrollment for a few more members. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I will see you in the next episode.